bro? Are we live? What up, people? It's your boy, the host with the most. I do not break up boats, and I'm coming to you guys live from coast to coast. It's your boy. I'm Chris the Don One. Welcome, welcome, welcome to another live stream. As always, rate, comment, subscribe. Share this with a friend, family, as well as a follower. Let's get this YouTube channel lit in the YouTube algorithm. You heard me? So story time, story time, story time. Okay, seems like you guys like it when I do story time live streams. So based on a true story about my life, and the sunshine. Okay. I'm gonna tell y'all the time when your boy got pinched out here on these streets. I'm gonna tell you the time your boy had to go to the county jail. Okay, so first and foremost, let's get into it. All right, so, and I do apologize. I normally do these things earlier in the morning, like around 3-4 o'clock in the morning, but some things came up, and I decided to do it a little bit later. Okay, so for all the people out there who've been enjoying these storytime live streams, just watch the re-air of it whenever you get up. Okay, for everyone else, let's get into the story. Okay, so if you checked out my last live stream, I told you guys I was naive as hell as a youngster. Okay, I, did not know a lot, particularly about life. Okay, and it's kind of funny to me because, like, my mama, she's an optimist. Okay, she believes the best in everybody. Okay, she never downed anybody, talked bad about anybody. She believes everybody can achieve if they put their mind to it. My father, he was a realist. Okay, he's gonna tell you like it is, love it or hate it. You can take it however you want to take it. He's gonna tell you like it. He's gonna tell you to the I, to the S, to the is. All right. So if you paid attention to my story time from yesterday, you already pretty much got that. But I'm still in my naive phase. All right. So basically, this is how I ended up in the county jail. So basically, I'm living on my own. I'm a young man. I'm a bachelor looking for a partner. Okay, I'm still in my bachelor life. Okay, so I didn't, I had a decent little apartment, but every now and again I had to go to the laundromat to get my clothes washed. Okay, and I had this old beat up Ford Tempo. I can still remember it like it was yesterday. It's a blue gray old Ford Tempo. I got it from it was sitting in a yard. And this lady, she just wanted to get rid of it. So she sold it to me for like $400. So it was nothing wrong with this car. Everything worked properly on this car. And I said, hey, $400, hey, I'll take it. Okay. The most I had to spend on this car, by the way, was when I got my registration and your tags. And there was like a something going on with the tag issue, and they felt like $400 was too. It's not a lot of money. They felt like, anyway. To make a long story short, I had to basically pay like an additional $200 to get my tags, my title, registration, all that jazz. Okay. I ended up spending almost the exact same money to get legal with this car than the car itself. Now, I'm pretty sure blue book value wise, this car would be at the car lot, a used car lot. They probably would have sold this thing for like 3 bands. Okay, there's nothing wrong with this car. All right, so yeah, I'm going to the laundromat. I'm doing my thing. I'm washing my clothes, I'm drying my clothes, and it was raining. I can remember it like it was yesterday. It was raining. So, I'm putting my clothes in the trunk. Now, as I'm driving off, I'm turning my lights on and I'm turning my windshield wipers on. Windshield wipers work. Now, as I'm driving, my headlights were working, but as soon as I touched down on the main road, my left headlight stopped working. And I thought that was weird. Like, why is my left headlight not working? So I said, look, I got one headlight. That's better than nothing. Okay. So I'm driving, trying to go home. Now, as you know, I'm still in the hood at this time. And, normally in the hood, they got these cops be everywhere. All right. So I ain't think nothing wrong about it. I drove past a cop car. The cop saw me. I saw him. As I drove past him, I'm at normal speeds. I'm not speeding or anything. Next thing I know, I see him just jump onto the main road. I'm going like, what's going on? All right. So I'm halfway home and he's flashing his lights. All right. So I pulled over. I wait for him to get out of his car. He gets out of his car. He asks for my license and registration. I'm being polite. I'm giving him my license and registration. He goes back to his car. He didn't even tell me why he pulled me over. And I'm going like, I'm going the speed limit. I didn't speed in those school zones. So I'm trying to figure out, why he's pulling me over. Okay. I don't have any warrants or any of that stuff. Okay. So he comes back. Thanks for the thumbs up. I really do appreciate that. So he comes back. Okay. What's up, man? 6'7". Okay, cool. So he comes back. All right. And I asked him, I said, so, officer, what did I do wrong? I wasn't speeding. I waited for the light to turn green. I'm following the traffic, rules and regulations. And he said, basically, I pulled you over because you don't even have none of your headlights on. Even though it's in the middle of the day, hey, how you doing, Brooklyn? So, I'm going like, none of my headlights. I got one of my headlights on. And he said, well, state law requires you to have both of your headlights operational, but you don't even have not a single one. So I come out the car. I went to the front of my car. None of my headlights are on. Now, in the car, it shows that I got my headlights on, but when I look at my car, none of my headlights are on. So come to find out, me and the cop was investigating. Come to find out, like, there's like a little shield, a little glass shield that protects the headlight from the environment, such as rain or whatever. Come to find out, there's a piece at the top. It was allowing the rainwater to seep in, and it put out one of my headlights, and then eventually put out the other headlight. So, I told the cop I did not know of this. I said, if I knew of this, I would have already fixed this. So he says, okay, I'm going to do you a favor. So basically, I'm going to write you a ticket, but you're going to, basically all you have to do is just go downtown. Just go downtown, book yourself in. When you book yourself in, just explain to the judge what happened, and I'm going to give you 30 days to get this fixed, and then this will be squashed, okay? So I'm going like, okay, cool. So he wrote me a little ticket. It told me in 30 days I have to turn myself in, all right? He let me on my way. I drove home. I say about a week later, I got the headlights fixed, okay? And I'm saying to myself, I'm saving all my receipts. So when I go downtown and explain it to the judge, he's going to find out this is a misunderstanding. Okay. So have you ever, forgot something that was major and important in your life, and you just figured it out, but much, much later? Well, it happened to me. So I forgot that I had to go to court. All right. So I forgot to go to court. Now, mind you, I I didn't forget because I was having too much fun. I was working 2 jobs at the time. And sometimes when you working and you start forgetting, things that you are supposed to do outside of work. All right. So that's the reason why I forgot the ticket. I wrote it down. I had it on my refrigerator, but I forgot. Okay. And I remember I forgot a day after I had to book myself in. So I'm thinking to myself, this is light work. It's not like I done committed homicide or sold drugs or anything. I'm pretty sure, thanks for the thumbs up, I'm pretty sure if I go downtown, explain my situation, and explain, hey, look, it wasn't like I was, out and about going to the club or anything like that. I'm trying to, make a life for myself. I'm working 2 jobs. It's just one of those things. I forgot. I just forgot. So, I'm, talking myself up, saying, okay, I'm just going to go downtown, let the people know it was a misunderstanding. I said the worst case scenario, I probably have to pay a fine. Okay. The worst case scenario, I probably had to pay a fine. I'm gonna have to spend the whole day talking to somebody. I said, that's the worst thing that can possibly happen. The best thing that can possibly happen is they say, oh, no problem. We'll just reassign you for another date. Okay. So I'm weighing my options. So I said, I'm going to go downtown. I'm going to try to resolve this quick, fast, in a hurry. All right. So I'm driving downtown. So I go downtown to the police station. I had to park my car in a meter. I figured I probably ain't gonna be in this police station no more than 4 hours. So I put I put $4 worth of change, and that lasted me like 8 hours. I said, worst case scenario, I'm probably in here for like 4 hours. They can keep the change. I ain't even sweating if I'm not here for 8 hours. So I put the money in the meter. I walk into the police station. First thing I see at the police station is security guard. I have never been in a police station before. And I'm thinking to myself, with all these detectives, cops, and police officers, you would think they wouldn't need a security guard. Well, apparently they had a security guard. So everybody was busy. They had detectives on their desk. They were busy. There was a long line. Speaking to a cop through a plate glass window, he was busy. Everybody was freaking busy, so I didn't really have no one to talk to. So I told the security guard my situation. So the security guard said, "Oh, so when I told him my situation, he said, so basically you miss court and you're turning yourself in." I'm going like, no, I'm not turning myself in. I just want to talk to somebody and tell them that, this was a misunderstanding. I forgot to report yesterday, but I'm here today. And I just want to, correct this situation. So he's looking at me. He's staring at me kind of weird like. So he told me, I tell you what, won't you just stay right there? I'm gonna go get someone that you can talk to. I'm going like, okay, cool. So I'm standing there, like Chris Breezy, not a care in the world. I'm thinking to myself, okay, he gonna get somebody that so I can talk to, I can explain this situation, and life is gonna be good. All right. I'm thinking to myself, oh, I should be out of here less than an hour. I should be out of here less than 30 minutes. I mean, if I explain my situation, everything's going to be forgiven. Okay. That's what I thought. So this cop comes and, he walks up to me. He said, so may I help you? So I told him exactly what I told the security guard. So after I told him what I said, the cop said, oh, okay. So can you follow me into this room? So I'm going like, okay, cool. So I follow him into the room, and in the room, it's just an isolated room. It ain't got no furniture in it. It's just got a bench. He just told me just sit right here. And I sat right there. So an hour goes by. I'm going like, Man, I've been sitting on this. I hope that guy didn't forget about me. Like, why is taking so long for him to come back? So he finally comes back with some more officers, and they explain the situation. So they said, "Yeah, I understand that you forgot to come to the police station and turn yourself in. We understand that, but unfortunately, you know, you miss you miss the opportunity to turn yourself in. Therefore, when you don't turn yourself in, there's a warrant out for you. The judge immediately issues a warrant out for you. So anything after today, you basically on the run, but you turned yourself in. We understand that, but we gotta follow protocols. So they told me to turn around. So I turned around. They slap handcuffs on me. I'm going like, what the fuck? I ain't never been handcuffed before. He said, I'm sorry. This is, we have to follow protocol. All right. So they handcuff me. They take me into another room. Now in this room, it's like a big old camera at the top of the ceiling. And they was, taking my mug shot. I guess that's how you take your mug shot. Now, it's like a big room with a big camera on top. It just got some numbers and lines on the floor. They got numbers and lines on the wall, and you have to stand a certain way. So I had to stand a certain way to take my picture. So I had to take a couple of pictures, you know, and then they took the handcuffs off me. They fingerprinted me. I'm going through the whole nine. So after I go through all that, I had to go see a judge. Now I saw a special judge. He was just like in the chamber, and there was nobody else there. And the police officer told me just wait for the judge. So I see the judge. I explained to the judge my situation, and the judge said, "Well, don't worry about it, Mr. I'm about to say my last name live and full effect. I'm gonna say, well, let's put it this way: don't worry about it, Mr. Don Juan. Mr. Don Juan. I'm about to say my whole government name in this piece, man. Hey, what's up, y'all? What's up? How y'all doing, man? Okay, so anyway, I explained to the judge my situation, and he said, "Well, don't worry about it, sir. We understand that this was a mistake on your part, and I'm gonna do my best, my due diligence to get you out of here as soon as possible." Okay, so this comes to the. Have y'all ever heard of that saying, "Justice moves slow"? You know why justice moves slow? The wheels of justice move slow because nobody don't really give a fuck about you. Okay, once they got you, they got you. They taking their own sweet time. They're taking lunches, breaks. They're not even telling you. They're being polite about it, but they really don't give two fucks about you. You dig what I'm saying? Once they got you, they got you. There's no need for no rush or any of that stuff. So I'm believing the hype with the judge telling me that he's gonna get me out of here as soon as possible. Man, after a couple of hours, I'm going like, man, that judge was tripping. I don't know why he lied to me like that. So I went to a big holding cell. I went to a holding room. So from the holding room, the big holding room was comfortable. It was comfortable like a mug. It had a bench, had leather padding on it, had chairs in it, all that spit. It looked good. Okay. So then they transferred me from that to a holding cell. And let me tell you something about this holding cell. First and foremost, it's like a bed slash sofa slash I don't know, and it's concrete. It's all concrete. Okay, I don't know how anybody can sleep on that comfortably. Okay, just sitting on it hurts your ass. If you got hemorrhoids in your ass, your hemorrhoids would have erupted sitting on that cold concrete slab. Okay, it's just a concrete slab. That's basically what it is. So I'm sitting in there still waiting. Meanwhile, I hear other people that are apprehended. They're in these other jail cells, but I can't see nobody, but I can hear people. Now, I seen this. Okay, this guy. He was drunk. He was drunk as hell. He was pissy drunk. Okay, they had him in a cell by himself. Okay, now in this cell, you can see everything behind you. You can see everything behind you. It's pretty much. I can see a garage. It's pretty much a garage. All right. Now I'm looking out because there's nothing else you can do. There's no TV in there. I can't see none of the other people that are being arrested. Okay, so all I can see is what's behind me, and it's like a little window behind me. So I see all the people that they arrest, and when it's like a downstairs garage. They arrest them, and then they take them into the police department. I seen all types of people. This is the one that flipped me out. You dig what I'm saying? I seen this dude in an orange jumpsuit with a mask on his face. I mean, and he looked like he was full of trouble. He looked like he's full of problems. They took him out of the van. It's like 4-5 officers around this mug. Like this mug can do some damage. Okay, one officer could not, take him into custody. They had like 6 or 7 police officers. All right, they had him chained up. They had something on his mouth where he couldn't speak. And man, it was kind of weird. You don't see that crap like in movies and stuff like that. Okay. Thanks for the thumbs up. I really do appreciate that. Thanks for the thumbs up. Okay. So I'm up here waiting. Drunk dude, still pissy drunk. Okay. And then I can hear other people, but I can't see them. So there's like a bunch of other jail holding cells. All right. And then I hear somebody just crying in the background. Some man. It's all men in there. So I hear some man, he's crying, going. Then I can hear someone in the other cell, like just like in the same cell, like in the same situation like I am. He's saying, "Shut the fuck up back there. Stop crying." So I'm going like, man, it's getting real up in here. You know what I'm saying? So I was sitting in that jail. I was sitting in that jail, that holding cell for so long, I done lost track of time. Man, when you arrested, you don't even think about time no more. Okay? It's just like time don't even exist. Okay? You're trying to figure out what's the next move and how you getting out, but you don't give a fuck about time no more. Time is the least of your worry. Because when you arrested or when you in jail, time is like your enemy. You don't care how long you been there. You just want to get out, okay? So I feel how I don't understand how people that get arrested or people that go to prison, I don't know how they can do it. Cause man, I'm gonna finish the story. Okay, so some hours go by. Finally, and one thing about when you locked up, you don't know if it's daytime or nighttime. The only way you know it's daytime or nighttime if you happen to see a clock or if someone tells you the time. That's the only way you're gonna know if it's daylight or if it's dark. Okay, but like I said, I'm not even concerned about that. I'm trying to figure out a way to get up out of this situation. All right, so they line all of us up out of our prison cells, and this is the first time I get to see everybody. All right, so we're all in line, and they tell us to follow them. So we're all in line, and there's a nurse at in the middle of the hallway, and all of us has to go see the nurse. And the nurse asks you, have you had your tetanus shot and, all this other stuff, okay? If you haven't, she has to give you one, all right? So we're all seeing the nurse. I'm going like, man, that's kind of weird. Like, I'm here. Why I need to go see a nurse? It's not like I'm going to be here all day. Boy, I was wrong about that shit. So as soon as the line leaves the nurse, we're still walking. This is a long freaking hallway, dog. It's a long freaking hallway. So we're walking. I don't know where the hell we going. When you locked up, them officers, they don't tell you where they taking you. They just go, they open up the door and they say, follow me. Or go or get in line. They don't tell you where you going. All right. So we're walking down this hallway, and I finally get to see the end of the road when it comes to this hallway. And when I go down this hallway, I see another door, but it's a jail door. Dig what I'm saying? Now, everybody, they're not showing no emotions. Everybody's trying to act tough. Everybody's trying to act hard. So I'm playing along with the stuff. You know what I'm saying? Because the last thing I want to do is show fear. All right? So I'm playing along with everybody else. If everybody else playing this role, I'm going to play this role too. Everybody, got their little tough face on. There was one person in our line, okay? He was having a ball. I mean, he was like he was on a carnival or something. He's laughing, talking. He knew all the guards by their name, by their first name. What's up, Steve? How you doing, Larry? Oh, that was Nurse Betty that gave y'all that tetanus shot. I mean, he's having a ball. He's the only one in line having a grand old good time. All right. He's even telling people, and then, so I'm saying to myself, he's been around here before. So I asked him, I said, hey, yo, where they taking us? And he said, have you ever been arrested before? I said, no, this is my first time. He said, oh, no, man, they're going to put us in the main jail now because we're all going to spend the night. But before we, spend the night, they're going to give us something to eat. I'm like, word? So I finally figured out where we was going. So the jail door opens. They let everybody, everybody in line goes into the jail. Once the last person goes in, they lock the door. Okay? So now we're in this big giant cell. All right? We in this big giant cell, but it's like a big giant cell room, but to the left and to the right, there's like your own custom jail where you can just go in and make it home. So there's like 6 of them, 6 little smaller cells, and it was only like 5 or 6 of us. I think it was more than that, but anyway, so I'm checking the one in the far left. So I go walking to the far left. Man, let me tell you something. I don't know why people like to be arrested, but man, I went in there. The bed is plastic. Man, you can't even get a good night's sleep on it. It's better than that concrete slab that I was telling y'all about. But man, the bed is made out of plastic, and they give you one blanket, and a hard ass pillow. Okay, so I done figured out which room is gonna be mine. Everybody got their own toilet. Okay, so I said to myself, at least I got my own toilet. I don't have to share no toilet or any of that stuff. Okay, so I walked into the middle of this, because everybody's in the middle, and everybody's conversating. Okay, so everyone's saying, what you in for? What you in for? What you in for? All right. So I'm saying to myself, man, they're gonna ask me what I'm in for. So I'm trying to think up a hard story because I don't want to tell them while I'm really here. Let me tell y'all something. Them seasonal people that be locked up, they know way more than us amateurs because I didn't have to say nothing because everybody get these bands, right? And these bands come in different colors. Mine was blue. There was some that was orange, some that were yellow. I'm thinking, okay, because I've been peeped it, but I'm thinking it's just a regular old band. Maybe they ran out of blue bands and now they got orange bands. Maybe they got ran out of orange bands and they gave out yellow bands. Okay. So before I can say anything, somebody looked at my band. He said, hey, y'all, look, they got a misdemeanor person with the killers and the gorillas. And everybody starts laughing and stuff. So I'm saying to myself, man, you better laugh along. So I'm laughing with them. I'm going like, ha, 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 yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm locked up for a misdemeanor, and they got me locked up with the killers and the gorillas. I'm going, ha, 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 so apparently a lot of these guys are arrested for different things. I thought in jail, they kind of isolate the lighter crimes together, and the people that commit the more serious crimes, they are in their own natural habitat. No, they mix us up like jumbo. It don't matter what you locked up for. Y'all all gonna go in this holding cell, okay? Man, let me tell you something. I don't know what orange and yellow mean, but I know for a fact it's they done committed a more serious crime than a misdemeanor. I'm the only blue band in this jail cell. So I said to myself, man, you better play along with this shit, okay? Because I done seen movies and shows, that's the extension of prison and jail I have any type of experience in, okay, while watching movies and TV. So, I'm not gonna play super hard, but I'm not gonna play like I'm that easy. So I feel like if I don't say anything and just be silent, they'll just leave me alone, which they pretty much did. They just left me alone because they couldn't figure me out because I wasn't, starting conversations or getting into other people's conversations and all that jazz. All right. So I'm saying to myself, man, you know how you start thinking and reflecting on what you should have done before you made this mistake, before you made this move, what you should have done before you made this move. So I'm thinking to myself, man, I should have told somebody that I was heading to the police station, because at this time, nobody knows I'm locked up. My friends, my family, my dad, nobody knew, okay? Even Jesus himself, Jesus did not know that I'm locked up right now and I need someone to come get me out, all right? So, I don't know if y'all know this. I think I have told y'all this. I'm terrible with phone numbers. I can't remember a phone number to save my life, all right? And I couldn't remember nobody's phone number. I'm locked up. Because the sheriff was willing to let me call. So, and there's some, okay, I used to think that you only get one phone call. I thought that was true. But now the sheriff was allowing me to call as much as I can. As long as I got a number, I can call somebody. So I'm trying to call this old girl I was freaking on. I knew she worked at CVS, and I kind of remember the last 4 digits to her number, but I don't remember the 3. Okay, the first 3. So I'm saying to myself, damn, what was those first 3? I finally remember her phone number from CVS. So I'm calling CVS, hoping that she can pick up, and then maybe she could get my family to come get me, or she can come get me, okay? Let me tell y'all something about jail. When you call somebody from jail, they have to approve to pick the phone up, okay? Because you can hear the message. This is the Metro Jail Center. Do you accept this call? Yes or no? Now, if somebody was on the line, they could either say yes or no, hit 1 or 2. But when on CVS, it's like an answer machine. It says, hey, welcome to CVS on such and such street. We are open from 6 to whatever. Please tell us the department you wish to talk to. For pharmacy, press 1. For management, press 2. For a vendor, if you're a vendor, press 3. If you are a doctor, press 4. So you can't press anything because there's an answer. It's like two answering machines competing with one another. CVS has an answering machine. I can't press any buttons until somebody says, do you accept this call? Press 1 or press 2 for no. Okay. So that wasn't going to work. That was not going to work. All right. So I'm up here. I thank the sheriff to let me use the phone. So I'm up here thinking. I'm like, damn, I forgot my sister's number. I forgot my auntie's number. But I did remember my father's number. And the only reason why I remember my father's number because I call him a lot. All right. That's the only freaking reason. Now, I got all these numbers saved on my phone, but they wouldn't let me use my phone. I couldn't call them from my phone. Now, what they said they could do is they can hold the phone up, go into my contacts, and I can look and see what the number is, and I can dial the number myself, but I can't touch the phone. You dig what I'm saying? But luckily, I knew my father's number. So I asked him, can I use the phone again? Because obviously, nobody else in the jail cell is using the phone, which that's even more troubling. All right? So I called my father, and it started ringing. I'm going like, normally, my father would pick up on the first ring. I'm going like, man, why my father ain't picking up? After the fourth ring, my father picks up. He says, oh, hello? I'm going like, Dad, but he can't hear me. I can hear him, but he can't hear me. All he hears is the message. This is the county jail. This is the Metro County Jail. You have someone that wants to talk to you. If you want to talk to them, press 1. If you don't, press 2. I'm yelling, saying, press 1, but he can't hear me. My father can't hear me. All right. So he ends up pressing 1 anyway. He go, hello, who is this? I'm going like, Dad, it's me, it's Chris. He said, Chris, what the hell you doing in jail? So I explained him the situation. I was telling him about the ticket. I told him that I forgot to turn myself in, and I thought that I can just come in the next day and tell them what happened, but they ended up arresting me. So before I can even get any of that stuff out, he's going like, man, how you forget to turn yourself in? Okay, that's stupid. Okay, they got a warrant out for you once you don't turn yourself in. So he knew the whole game plan. So I'm going like, hey man, Dad, hey man, can you come down here and can you come down here and bomb me out? He's like, I ain't got no damn money. And I said, hey, can you call somebody in the family to come get me and bail me out? He said, I'll do that, but I can't make no promises. Like, once again, remember what I told y'all earlier in this live stream? My daddy, he's real. He's going to tell you the truth if you like it or not, okay? He's going to tell you, all right? So I'm going like, just make sure, let my sister know, let my, auntie know, let my brother know, okay? Just call around and get someone to bail me out, okay? And now, and then I told him about that girl I was messing with at CVS, okay? So, I said, yeah, just try to get someone, I'm just, trying to make it, I want to get out right now. And he can tell I want to get out right now. So my dad, he gave me some advice that if someone else gets arrested, I'm going to pass on this advice. He told me, he said, hey, Chris, ain't nothing you can do right now. Ain't nothing you can do right now. Just lay down. Just lay down, okay? And there's no quick fix. You're not, there's no simple phone call. You're not gonna get out anytime soon. Just lay your ass down. Just lay your ass down. When he told me that, lay my ass down, pause. When he told me that, there was a sense of calmness around me. Like I finally accepted my situation. Okay. So I said thank you to him, and I said I love you, Dad. And my dad, he ain't like one of them dads that go, I love you back. He just thought it was kind of weird, like, yeah, and then hung up. He's not gonna tell you that he love you back, all right? Which I ain't never been that type of person anyway to tell anybody that, I love them. But the situation I was in, and then that sense of calmness, it just mellowed me out. So when I got mellowed out, I let my guards down. I stopped being a tough guy, and look, it just came out. Okay, so you know how you be sitting in jail. You be sitting in jail. I'm laying in the bed, just sitting in jail. And by the way, the food, jail food, that must be slapping. I don't know if I was hungry or that was the only, I don't know if that was the only thing I ate and I was hungry, but that mug was slapping. I'm gonna tell y'all what they fed us. They fed us some hot water cornbread, a chicken patty, and some lemon water. No, not lemon juice, not lemonade, not Minute Maid, none of that stuff. It's just lemon water. It was water with lemon in it. Okay, it was just lemon water, not lemon lime, not lemonade, not lemon juice. It just lemon water. Okay, that speaks for itself. It's just water that had the flavor of lemon in it. That mug was slapping. I ain't gonna hold y'all, man. That mug was slapping. Okay, so finally got some food in my belly. I'm chilling out. I'm mellowed out. I accept my situation, and then, ain't nothing else to do. There's no TV there. I could go out there and talk to them, but we don't have really nothing in common. They talking about their court dates and stuff like that, and I'm going like, man, I'm not familiar with that language. So I'm sitting in my jail. I'm just sitting. I done made my little jail, made my little bed up nice. I'm looking up at the ceiling because there's nothing else you can look at, and I'm saying to myself, man, when I get out of this, I'm gonna start acting right. I'm gonna start going to church. I'm up here telling the Lord, I'm copping all pleas to the Lord. I'm just talking. This is the first time I had a decent talk with God. Okay, I'm up here going like, God, man, I'm gonna get my act together. I'm gonna get my ish together. I'm gonna go back to school. When I get to school, I'm gonna get me a degree. When I get me a degree, I'm gonna get me a nice job. I'm settling down, God. No more of this bachelor life. No more, running the streets. Man, God, this situation done woke me up. Lord, if this is a sign from you, then I believe you. I believe you. I'm just gonna, I'm on the road of the righteousness. I'm on the road of the righteousness. Okay, so I'm up here copping pleas of the Lord. Okay, I ain't never talked to God that long. I'm not saying I don't go to church all the time, but when I do go to church, I don't really have a lot to say to God. I be listening to other people's testimonies. I be listening to other people when they be talking to God. But to me, I just go to church, preach the word, and then I keep it pushing. Okay, not like I don't believe in God. It's just, I'm not built that way. Okay, but yeah, that's the first time I had a long, positive conversation with the Almighty. All right, so some hours go by. I'm, I'm settled. My eyelids started getting heavy. I fell asleep. Okay, I finally fell asleep. All right. Uh, no. I take that lie back. Um, I was like laying down. Some hours go by, and then I hear the sheriff go, "Okay, lockdown. Everybody get in your cells. Lockdown. So everybody get in their own personal cell, right? And I'm already in my cell. And then they say, step away from the door, step away from the door. I'm not even nowhere near the door, all right? And then you see this large door start moving and locking on its own, okay? And now you in there, okay? You can't get in or out, all right? So there's no need for you to get out because everything you need is in your own personal jail cell. If you gotta take a dump, if you gotta pee, you can do it in your toilet. Okay, you're only gonna get one blanket. Okay, so you're not gonna get any more blankets or any more pillows. All right, so it is what it is. Pretty much, it is what it is. All right, so I'm sitting there looking up at the ceiling, and I eventually go to sleep. I go to sleep, because there's nothing else for me to do. I can't, I fought a good fight, and it is what it is. So I just went on and went to bed. All right. I think I went to sleep for like maybe 5 hours. And then a light kept flashing in my face. And then I started waking up. And then I keep hearing the sheriff call my name. I'm Krista Don One. I'm Krista Don One. Phone call. No, not phone call. Come to the cell. You done made bail. Come to the door. You made bail. I'm like, word? That's the best news I've heard in a long. That it was like waking up as a kid on Christmas, man. I was so freaking happy. They opened up my jail cell door. My door was the only door that they opened. Everybody else's door stayed shut. I come swinging those arms out like George Jefferson out that door, going, we're moving on up. Man, I was happier than a pig in mud. Boy, I was happy, okay? Am I happy? Man, I was happy, man. I came flying up out that jail cell like I was somebody. Okay, so I'm walking out there, arms swinging like George Jefferson. I'm hearing everybody in the jail cell going, hey, when you get out, call my sister. She's 615-244-6666. And I hear someone on the other side going, hey man, when you get out, my wife, her name is Moringa, whatever her name is, 615-444-22. Now, people throwing out their phone numbers like gang signs, man. Yeah, yo, my mom, everybody's telling me to call somebody once I get out, let them know that they in there, all right? Which, I'm taking it, look, I don't, at this point, I'm going like, yeah, I got you. When I get out, I'm going to call this person. Yeah, I got you. When about 6 or 7 of them giving me like, all these numbers. Now, if you've been following this live stream, you know that, now I can't remember a number for the life of me. And even if I could remember a number, man, I ain't calling these people. I am not calling these people. And I'm thinking to myself, like 6 hours ago, y'all was the toughest guys on the planet. Y'all was ready to stay up in here, okay? Now, all of a sudden, when you see somebody fly like me getting ready to get on up out of here, now all of a sudden, it done changed, okay? So, I'm walking out of there. I walk up to the door. Sheriff says, move back for a second. Told me to turn around. I turned around. He opened up the door. He said, turn back around. And I get out the jail cell. All right. So the police officer told me, just wait right. He said, follow me. So I didn't have to go down this hallway. All right. There's like a room. I mean, there's like a door next to the jail cell. All right. So I'm coming. He told me to come to this room. And then I walk through this room. There's like some steps. I go down this step. I go down a couple of steps. When I come, him and the officer and me come out down these steps. He opens the door and he says, okay, you're in the garage part. Okay, all you got to do is just keep walking straight, and you're going to end up out on the street. Okay. So I said, thank you. He said, you're welcome. He shuts the door. He goes back upstairs. I walk in the garage. I walk all the way to the end of the garage. I walk out the street. As soon as I walk out the street, and this is weird, man. When I walk out the street, I'm seeing Kid Rock. Okay. Apparently, Kid Rock got into a bar fight. All right. And there's news reporters there. Kid Rock is arrested. They're taking him into the police station. Okay. As I'm coming out of the police station. All right. So, cause, I walk out, and as he walking into the police station, I'm walking out of the garage. I see all that commotion. I'm looking at the commotion, but then I'm trying to find my car to make sure that they didn't tow my car. All right. So as I keep walking further and further up to where the news crew at, I see my sister and this girl I was messing with, okay, at CVS, okay? So they say, hey, Chris, over here. So I look and I see them. I say, hey, what's up? And I say, I appreciate y'all getting me out, okay? So my sister was explaining to me that she had to get money from different people, and even the girl I was messing with, she put in, all right? And my sister said, like, I had to put my name on you on the bond. So she said, I know you going to appear in court and get it all straight. Now it's no big deal. You ain't gonna run from this situation. And I said, no. I thanked her, I thanked the girl I was messing with for them doing that for me, okay? But they knew I'm solid. I'm not going to, run off and run away, and now they leave them high and dry, and now they in trouble. Okay, so I had to go to the bail bondsman. The bail bondsman wanted to talk to me, and he explained to me my situation. He told me what I had to do. So I had a court date, and that was like 2 months after all this. And I made sure that I was going to appear at this court date, even if I had to miss work. Now, I had 2 months. I told work that I had to have this day off, all right? So I was going to make sure I'm going to this court date, because I don't want this happening to me again. And you know what? My sister made sure, because she said, now be sure that you get that day off, because, you got a court date. And so it was 2 months after that, I went to court. And I didn't even talk to the judge that long. Basically, I just appeared in court. The charges were dismissed, and I went on my merry way. Okay. And that's pretty much it. Okay. So yeah, man, I know that story was a long story. I really do appreciate y'all checking out that story. You can learn something from that story. Here's some things you need to learn. Like, if you got to go somewhere, I don't care if it's the police station or to the park, wherever, let somebody know. I know, we got in our head that, hey, we grown, we can do whatever we want to do. I'm not saying you can't do what you want to do. I'm not saying you need permission. But what I am saying is, if something happens, at least you let somebody know, the last, like when they start looking for you, they'll you let somebody know that they'll say, oh yeah, they said they was going to go to the park, or they're supposed to go to this restaurant to meet up with somebody, or they had to go to the police station. Okay, so let somebody know wherever you has to go, like your boyfriend, girlfriend, your sister, your brother, your mom, your dad. Just let somebody know. Okay, to take particularly when you're dealing with tickets, when you're dealing with tickets or anything that's involving the police, take that stuff seriously. Okay, make that the first priority. Don't worry. Don't be naive like I was and go like, well, I'm gonna take it seriously, but then you end up forgetting about it. So if you got to go to court, take that stuff seriously, because you don't want to end up as me. Okay, as you see, I had to learn life the hard way, and I did. So yeah. Now there's a conclusion to this. So after it's kind of funny to me when you locked up, you start really focusing in and homing in on your life and things that you're doing right and things that you're doing wrong. And you say to yourself, when I get myself out of this situation, I'm going to do right. I'm going to do good in the hood. Okay. And then when you free, you don't forget all those promises you made to the Lord. I know the Lord looking at me, shaking his head, going like, man, Chris, you did promise that you were going to go to church every Sunday. Man, Chris, you promised that you was no longer going to run the streets. I continue to run the streets, man. It's just one of those weird things, man. Like I said, I was young, dumb, and full of what, okay? And I hope y'all thoroughly was entertained and thoroughly enjoyed this story, this story time. I appreciate everyone that came into the building. I appreciate the comments. Like Jacob, he wanted me to say hi. I hope you're still here. I'm sorry, Jacob. I was still in my story bag, but I did get your your like. Okay, I had 5 likes in the building. I really do appreciate that as well. Okay, so yeah, I'm getting up out of here, man. I'm getting up out of here. All right. So it's your boy, the host with the most. I do not brag or boast. I'm coming to your live from coast to coast. It's your boy. I done messed that up real bad. It's your boy, the host with the most. I do not brag or boast. And I'm coming to you guys live from coast to coast. It's your boy. I'm Chris the Dom One. Feel free, rate, comment, subscribe, share this with a friend, family, as well as a follower. Let's get this YouTube channel lit in the YouTube algorithm. You heard me? I'm gonna try to do another live stream tonight. I'm gonna be back at my regular time, like 3, 4, 5 o'clock in the morning. Y'all really be coming in. I really do appreciate y'all checking out these live. Be sure to watch the re-air of this. So yeah, I'm up out of here, guys. I'm gone. Deuces, people.